Welcome to Indy's Real Estate Gurus, your ultimate guide to the dynamic world of real estate in Indiana. And I'm Rick Ripma, your hardworking mortgage guy, and I've been in real estate and mortgages for over 24 years.
And I'm Ian Arnold, a loan officer on Rick's hardworking mortgage team, and we are both with Advisors Mortgage Group. Together, we'll empower you with expert advice, market trends, and successful stories from guru realtors and local experts.
Whether you're a homeowner, investor, or pro, join us as we navigate the thriving Indy real estate market.
Now get ready to unlock the doors of success, one episode at a time.
And today we are really excited. We have Nate VanPelt, and you're with World Title Real Estate.
Yep.
And you've been in real estate for quite some time, but you just made the switch over.
I did, yeah. I've been in real estate for 16 years. I was licensed in 2007. Is it 16? Yeah, 16. And started at RE/MAX in Brownsburg and just kind of, moved east over the years.
And before real estate, where'd you grow up? What did you do? What was your life like?
Well, I grew up in Columbus, Indiana.
Okay.
I did not go to high school there. I actually went to Culver Academies.
All right.
And went there summer and winter. So my parents like to travel, so they sent me to a boarding school. And, easy for them, right? And then after that, I went to University of Alabama, Huntsville. My dad lives in Huntsville, Alabama. I went down there, actually worked my way through college bartending.
Oh,
and,
me too.
I moved up here. That makes an easy transition. Moving back, bartended here, and my mom one day said, "Hey, why don't you get into real estate?" I always seemed to trust her, so I did. And here I am.
I will say this, because I used to live in Florida and I used to travel back and forth from here to Florida.
Yeah.
Huntsville has one of the best rest stops with the giant rocket and everything right there off to the stop.
They, I want to say they got rid of it.
Did they? Because I was there.
Last time I went down there, it was shut down.
Oh, wow.
That was in March.
Okay, yeah, it's been probably about now 3 years since I went. I went for my brother's wedding, but yeah, we always stop there, and the kids love to look at it because there's what if you don't know is there a big NASA museum and everything there.
Yep. Yeah, I was there almost every day as a kid. I loved it. We lived not too far away. Well, my dad did.
Mm-hmm.
But now Huntsville has an Buc-ee's 10 miles south of where that rocket is.
Oh.
So everyone goes there instead. So they probably just shut it down.
Oh,
that's too bad.
Buc-ee's is the thing, I guess.
It is now, isn't it? Yeah. I was just talking to somebody about it this morning. I've never been to one, but I guess it is the thing.
It's a madhouse. So my dad lives about 30 minutes away from it. And on my way down, he made sure to call me before I got there and say, "Hey, you got to stop at Buc-ee's and go get the brisket sandwich." I didn't, but he
You don't trust your dad like you do your mom.
Right. He is that excited about it.
That's
that
awesome.
He wanted me to make a stop and go. When I'm in Alabama, where barbecue is pretty good.
Yeah,
so.
It must be really good then.
Yeah, I guess.
So you went to Culver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so that seemed like an interesting place to go to school. What did you find it a great place to growing up years?
Yeah, it was awesome. Especially going year round because I got to experience the full experience of Culver because winter school when I was there did not have a sailing school.
Oh, okay.
So when I started in summer school, I mean, of course, I wanted to get in sailing because I sailed on lakes growing up, and I actually helped the conversion of the summer school sailing into winter school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that helped out because I knew how to, sail the boats. Nobody in the school knew how to. So I would help them and we did some conversion. I actually, I took a friend of mine out on the boat it was October. It was like 40 degrees and I purposely flipped the boat and put us both in the water, not thinking about how cold the water was. She hasn't talked to me since.
That didn't go over that well,
No, not as planned.
How do you think?
Oh, go ahead. What I was going to ask you, so you started in 07, right?
Yes.
So, one, what got you into real estate? And then, secondly, how did you get going? Because that was almost 07, 08 was when the market turned.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my mom mentioned it. She's had a broker's license. She's never sold a house, but she's had a broker's license, and always. I mean, she has a pretty good eye for what people should be doing. And I just got into it kind of naturally because being a bartender part time, you can develop that clientele relationship, and I really carried that over into everything. In 2010, I did make a mistake and go buy a restaurant, and that got me out of real estate for a little bit. That was the worst thing I ever did, and it taught me that I never want to do that again. So I hear
what type of restaurant?
it was a bar / restaurant in Westfield, and we don't need to talk about it. But it was fun. I eventually sold it, and it was a lot of long hours. I was too young to own a bar. We'll put it that way, and it was just an experience. And then I got into a company here in Indy called Stratosphere Quality. I used my degree a little bit. I have a business admin degree with kind of a concentration on statistical analysis. So for me, efficiency in manufacturing was a big thing, and I got on there no problem. Worked there for a while, and then Rodney Hurd called me back up in 2012 and asked if I wanted to come back into real estate because they came back from South Carolina and got back in it after 2 years of not being in it.
Okay. So how when you got out, you came back in. Now you have to get going again.
Sure.
Right? Because people don't know you're in real estate, so you have to get going. What did you do? What was your process? How did you get going?
So the biggest thing that we did, Ronnie and Amanda already had a team set up, and they had leads coming in. Now, speaking to online leads compared to where I was in manufacturing, two completely different things. It actually took me 6 months to sell my first house. Then I got going and sold 40 over the next year. So that's all internet lead generation. I think I may have had 3 from my sphere. Okay. And now I have a lot more past clients and sphere reaching out. But it's all lead gen and learning scripts and dialogues. And that's how we concentrate now. Yeah.
So were you outbound calls or inbound calls?
Outbound.
Okay, so you were calling people.
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
And so that sounds like a critical piece for you to get going and being able to sell 40 homes in the first year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
And that's huge.
Oh, it was massive. I mean, without the scripts and dialogues and learning those things, but more importantly, the tonality of it, right? Because I was pretty stiff on the phone. It was not a person that you wanted to buy a house from. and it took a little bit to realize that, but over the years, I would like to think I've become an expert on scripts and dialogues and tonality with clients. So yeah.
So how did you? Let me ask it. How did you get better? Because I know when I started doing the calls and all that, we recorded ourselves, and then you listen to yourself. Did you do something similar to get yourself better at it?
We did. Yeah, we would record, but mainly role play with other agents. That's huge. And yeah, I mean, you have to go back and listen to yourself on the calls and see how you sound. But even now, I still on occasion, I'm like, man, what am I doing? If I have a bad call, I'll stop. I'll take a mental break, stand up, and just get yourself back in that position because when I talk to clients on the phone, it's very different than like sitting down and just talking to someone else because you want to be that energetic person and they want to work with you, right? Make a friend. That's the most important thing I do now. I go so far off script sometimes that I'm just more interested in the person than I am anything else at this point because that's how you're going to get these people to meet you and get in front of them. Anybody can set an appointment, but if you don't make a friend with that person, they're over the phone, they're never going to go to that appointment.
They don't show up.
Right.
Yeah. So it does help though. Doing the calls helps, but role playing. When I had a team, when I was in new home sales and I managed the team, I made them all do role play. They hated it. They hated me for it.
Yeah.
But we did it every week, and we role played everything because then when it happens, you're ready. You're ready for it. You know what to do, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And even if you don't, your role play helps you get through it because you have things to set back on, if that makes sense.
Yes.
There's always something that you can say. And then, the newest thing is NLP. I don't know if you're familiar with that. I love that. And it's just simple changes of what you ask and taking words out of your dialogue and putting different ones in. So that's a big thing with me right now that I'm really concentrating on learning a lot better.
Yeah. So you've been in the business for 15 years.
Yeah, roughly. Yeah.
Roughly 15 years. Yeah. And you're still learning.
Oh, every day.
And you're still calling.
Every day, 3 hours.
and you're actually working.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not the person that can wait for business to come to me. That's just something that I've never done. And I'm of the mindset that I have to succeed. That if I don't, then why am I doing this?
Yeah.
I have to have my call time, my prospecting, because that's how we get business.
Yeah.
And yeah, prospecting can be with Sphere, or it can be farming neighborhoods. If you're writing letters to people, that's prospecting because you're doing it, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be prospecting like what I do. What I do isn't for everybody. Not everyone wants to make calls, and not everyone's good at it. But I realize that my phone is how I make money, and I answer it, and I call people with it.
Right.
So let me ask you this: how do you set time? 3 hours. You said you call 3 hours a day.
Yeah.
So how do you actually set that and stay there?
Time blocking every day. So from 8:30 until 11:30 every day, I'm making calls, and it starts now with expireds because with our switch now I'm doing everything. So expireds, sometimes FSBOs, they're actually a little easier in this market now than what they were because it's tougher now, right?
Right.
So a little easier to convert those. And still all of the buyer leads. So we have, hundreds of buyer leads a month come in, and those need to be called. And from 8:30 to 11:30, nothing changes. And then I go to lunch. I take my gym time in the afternoon. Nobody wants to see homes from 1:30 to 3. They're working. And then after that, we go. I go home, shower, get ready for showings. And I have time blocked from 5 to 8 for showings.
Yeah. You don't realize, and the reason I figured that was the answer, because Rick and I do the same thing. Ours is 9 to 11. We do 2 hours. But if you let anything get in there, it just disrupts your whole entire time.
Completely.
Yeah. So you're just blocking it off, like you said.
Yeah.
And that's when you do it.
Yeah. I don't even look at emails until the afternoon. Because one email can derail your whole day. And on occasion, it still does it. We all have pressing needs that, a deal's falling apart or something like that. Yeah. But it does ruin your whole day for prospecting.
Yes.
And then you try to make it up in the afternoon. You might do an hour, hour and a half. Well, by that point, you're not feeling like it. And, you just have to make it up.
It's weird how it's a habit. It becomes a habit. And then when you get outside of that time, okay, so you're 8:30 to 11:30.
Yep.
So you can't, if something happens, you can't make those calls. At 2 o'clock, it's not your habit anymore. It makes it really tough to force yourself to do that. It takes a lot of discipline.
Yeah. And, going to the gym is one of those, it's a habit too. It's funny, as we were just in Las Vegas, my business partner and I, Jason Justak, we were out there, we're sitting at lunch with people, and it's like with 3 o'clock our time, and I'm just kind of like really nervous at the table, and I look at the service, can I get my check? And everyone's at the table like, where are you going? I pay, I leave. See you guys, I'm going to the gym. Because I couldn't, that's my habit.
Right.
I had to go. So I just up and left and caught them later. And same thing with calls. Now, out there, we didn't do the calls because you're there for intent, right?
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, still made the gym.
Yeah. So how would you say, I know time blocking is very valuable, but how do you see that as a value to your client? I'm sure you see big value for your client, the fact that you're so organized.
Because they'll know when I'm available.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I prep them for that in buyer consultations. I say, here are my hours, and then, here are times available for showings. If you set that time, they'll they'll adhere to it. Now, some clients are, they work different hours. Just adjust your time for that person. That's fine.
Right.
But if they know your hours up front, they'll abide by it. Instead of just saying, oh, what time can you go? Say, hey, I'm available from 5 to 8 today. It's a much better, a more professional way of handling it instead of what I call just being a Pop-Tart agent. I mean, we're to guide clients, also guide them in their schedule. Don't just let them tell you when to show a house.
Yeah. I think that I want to push on that a little bit because I talked to a big agent up in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and he set his whole business up that way.
Yeah.
And he says exactly what you say. He says, listen, he had a big team and he watched people burn themselves out, and he talked about how they got burned out. He said, I don't want to do that. So that's what he does. He tells people when it is, he sets it up, and he says the vast majority, it works out perfectly. He doesn't work very much on the weekends.
Yeah.
He might work some Saturday mornings, but most of the agents we talk to, that's one of their they work all the time.
Yeah.
And it's not that, I like to work, so I don't mind work. I mean, not only mind, I actually will get up and go into my home office and work in the morning on a Saturday because that's what I like to do. I got things to do. But you want to have your freedom too. You can't live if you don't have some time off. And by your time blocking and by doing that and communicating it, you're able to get that. You're able to have a life.
Yeah. Now, I do set time on Saturdays for showings because, that's, we're still in the market where you need to do that. At least I'm not at the point yet where I have enough agents to go and show for me.
Yeah.
So typically from 1 to 4 on Saturday, and Sunday usually about the same time. And then after that, I'm free. And before that, I'm free. So, church on Sundays, you can get out. You can be anywhere by 1 o'clock. You're fine.
Yeah.
Saturdays, if I just want to take an easy morning, I typically don't. I try to wake up the same time every day, but sometimes you just want to lay there and drink coffee and do nothing.
Sometimes you need to relax a little bit.
Oh, man, we just got back from Vegas, and we didn't even do anything in Vegas, like go out or any of that. It was just nonstop work. And I was exhausted. So Saturday, I think I slept till like 8:30. Yeah, it felt good.
It's hard for me to do that. I don't think I can.
So I want somebody to be on your time block, for you to call them. So what's the best way if somebody's looking to buy, sell, or just want to talk real estate?
Sure.
How can they get a hold of you?
You mean as far as my number?
Yep.
Yeah. Give me a call, 317-625-6163, or you can email me at nate@worldtitlerealestate.com. The easiest way is text. So just text that number.
Yeah.
The social medias and all that stuff, I probably won't see it for a couple days, but definitely text.
Okay. Now, text number is 317-625-6163.
Correct.
It's a good number, too.
If somebody does want to follow you on your social media, I know you got a cool little thing you put on your car. What's your handle?
So it's at RLST8N8. So Real Estate Nate. That's me on Instagram. And on Facebook, it's just Nate VanPelt. And I do have a professional page. I don't use it. There's no point in having it anymore. So just look for the Nate VanPelt personal, and I'll accept it. So.
And I hear you have a YouTube channel too.
I do. There's not much on it yet, but we're getting it
coming
going
soon.
Yeah. And that's that same RLST8N8, and that's my YouTube handle.
Yeah, I like that.
And my TikTok handle, which I'm too old for TikTok, man.
No, I can see you out there dancing.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Wait, is that what they do on TikTok?
I guess.
Yeah.
I'm even too old for TikTok.
I'm on TikTok.
Yeah.
You old guys. And to get a hold of Ian or I, go to hardworkingmortgageguys.com. That's hardworkingmortgageguys.com. Or you can give us a call at 317-672-1938. That's 317-672-1938.
All right. So we're going to take a little sidestep from the real estate part.
Sure.
Let's get to know you more.
Sure.
So I'm going to take away your phone for 24 hours. That means you cannot make your 3-hour calls.
That's
Sorry. So what do we catch you doing for fun?
Well, let's see. Probably go for a drive because I love my car, and just like to drive on occasion. Definitely catch me at the gym. That's 6 to 7 days a week. has been for the last year. I've actually lost 55 pounds. So
Awesome. Congratulations.
thank you. Walking the dogs, hanging out with them, going to a dog park. And really, I mean, that's probably a typical day off. I don't really go to bars or anything, so not because I used to own one. I'm over that. You know, that gave me the whole and living in Fountain Square for so long, you kind of get over that aspect.
Yeah.
Because I know some people end their days off, enjoy Sunday fun day, whatever. That's awesome. That's just not me. So
Yeah. So what kind of dogs do you have?
I have a border collie mixed with a golden retriever.
Uh-oh.
Called a Golly.
Okay.
Yeah. He has the worst traits of both of those dogs. He used to escape out of my fence in Fountain Square and go to Dairy Queen. And he'd
Sounds like a smart dog to me.
He's super smart. That's the problem. But he likes to get on counters and he'll jump on tables. So he's very well trained. He's just not disciplined. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got 2 kids. Trust me, I know.
Yeah. And then I have a Scotty.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the Scotty's cool.
And you live on the Monon, so you take them for walks on the Monon?
Yeah. Yeah, right downtown Carmel. Walk them all the time. So if you see a guy with a Scotty and a Golly, that's me.
Yeah. And the Scotty, you were saying that that's a cool dog?
Yeah, he's really cool. He just hangs out. He'll sit on the couch with his legs out and his back against the back of the couch. And his arms just hanging. It's pretty funny. He sits like a human.
Well, my wife is a huge animal lover. Now, we don't have any dogs. We have 4 cats. But if you were out walking and we were walking near in there, my wife would be over there petting the dog. As long as she has a way, and you probably know how to do this too. I don't. But she can look at somebody and she can tell whether you can pet that dog or not.
Oh, yeah, most of the time. Yeah. Although I had a dog before that looked like you could pet her, and just depend on the person.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Some people she would, but some people she just did not like.
She'd have liked me because I wouldn't have petted her. I wait till they come to me. If they don't come to me, I don't, and come to me like they want to be petted. Like a collie, though, collie sounds like
he's got the golden retriever sweetness, he's just really sweet, but he's also got the he's as mischievous as a border collie.
Okay.
So he's kind of a pain, but.
So we'll get back to business a little bit.
Sure.
So what would you say your superpower or superpowers are?
Oh, man. Conversion. Yeah, converting over the phone and in person, and numbers. Those 2 things, conversion and numbers. Because of my statistics background, numbers are a thing that I can look at and fully explain, not just say, oh, well, this is what they're saying. I can explain why they're saying it because I understand the statistics of it, and how they get to that number and the differences of, different numbers and what they actually mean. Because some people use certain things as the same number when they're not.
Right.
And they don't understand they're actually inversions of each other. Like inventory and absorption rate, they're not the same number, even though people think they are. They're very different. So just things like that.
Right. So how do you see that? Because that seems like another piece that would really benefit your client by you. How do you see that helping them, or do you have a time when it really helped? I would think, and recently when we were at crazy times, it had to really help.
Well, actually, it helps more now than it did then.
Oh, really?
Because there's so many people that are saying, "Oh, the rates are so high," and if you can show them the numbers of what prices we're getting off of homes. For example, just the other day, I got one $15,000 off plus $4,000 closing costs. Okay, I got new construction $44,000 off, $15,000 closing costs. Well, when the market's hot, you're not getting that. You're paying $30,000, $40,000 over list and no closing costs. There could be a $70,000 gap. Your payment's the same. Right? Even with the 7.5% rate or whatever they are today, I don't know that. I'm not a mortgage guy. Your payment's going to be roughly the same because of the price difference. What's more important, the equity or a payment that you might have to pay for 6 months and then refinance it.
Right.
Equity is why we buy property, not payment. And if you can get past the payment issue, buy a home now, because you're getting much better pricing right now than you will in 6 months. For every, I saw it, you guys might be able to back this up. For every 1% drop in interest rates, 5 million buyers come into the market. And that's nationwide, not in Indiana, obviously. But nationwide.
We're out of people.
Right, yeah. But that's a lot of buyers.
Yes.
And prices only go up. So when prices right now are staying steady, and come December, they're going to come down to the lowest they are every single year. That happens. It's a cyclical thing. And I show people that as well. Because on the news, all you hear is, oh, prices are falling. Yep. After July, they fall every single year, 10 to 15%.
Yeah.
Every year. But the average of it is a net 8 to 10% positive.
Right.
So the highest point to buy is June. Because when they close in July, they're the highest price. And then they drop. And the lowest price is January of every year, so buy it in November, December.
Yeah. That's
so right
great.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We agree 100%. It's what we've been trying to get people to understand. And I think it's the news media that just kills us.
They do.
They just come out and they say these things. They don't know what they're really talking about. But just what you just did, laying out the statistics of it, is people should see that and go, okay, I get this now. Because there were times people were paying 100, 125, 150,000 over list price.
I know. I wrote one for 120K over and we didn't get it.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And so they'd be better off today buying it at the actual price and paying, 3 or 4% higher.
Yeah.
Until the rates come down.
Well, right now you're getting money off.
Yeah.
We see a lot more expireds because people are still, unfortunately, you still have homes being listed under the assumption that, we're going to get multiple offers. You're not. It's not that market. We've changed. Some homes might. Okay, they're rarely. Today I actually just had one that they had multiple offers. Well, it was a lower price, 120K home. It's going to be an investment home.
Yeah.
Okay, those are going with multiple offers. But your $400,000 or $500,000 homes, that's not happening anymore. Not like it did. You're not getting 6, 7, 15 offers. You might get 1 or 2. But you're not going to sell it for 30, 40K over list right now.
Yeah. But to your point before, when the rates come down and all those people are coming back into the market,
then they go up. They absolutely go up.
Right.
So that's why in spring, every year you have a big price jump as well, because there's more buyers that come in. Well, it happens when the rates drop. More buyers come in because they come back into a price range that maybe they want. Well, you're not the only one.
Right.
And if you're really buying for equity and wealth, you buy when no one else is buying.
Right.
I mean, that's how people got rich in 2008 through 2010. They bought when no one else was buying.
Yeah.
And that's what you do.
Well, we had a really smart agent on who said that equity is why we buy, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I wrote it down because the pen ran out of ink.
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant. It's actually, I never thought of it, but it's absolutely true.
Yeah. You don't buy a house to not get future value. The biggest question people ask is what? What's it going to be worth in 3 to 5 years?
Right.
Well, I don't know that. But I know that you'll probably have equity based on history.
Right.
I can't tell you what it's going to be worth. But if you're buying for equity, then right now is the time when people tell you, we're going to wait till the market cools off. Well, what does that really mean to you? Does it mean that the prices cool off or the interest rates cool off? Because we're not going to see below 4% again. The last time that happened was 1946 after World War II. We're never going to see it. So 2 times in this country, interest rates have been below 4.5%. 70 years apart.
Right.
So do you want to wait another 70 years or do you want to buy at a lower price? Because prices are only going up.
Yeah. And I think that's part of people have to get used to it. They have to realize it's not, that was an anomaly.
Oh, absolutely.
It was very unusual, as you said, and that was the lowest we'd ever seen. It never happened before.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like you're waiting for something that happened one time.
Yeah.
Could it ever happen again? Well, it could, but you can't expect it.
Right.
And if you buy while the prices are low and it does happen, you got the best of both worlds.
Yeah. Because then you refinance.
Yeah.
And ideally, you turn that one into a high equity rental position.
Yeah.
You can take your money out of that and then buy your next house. Because chances are, when you refinance, your rental payment's going to pay whatever you pull out of it
Right.
for your next home.
Right.
So you're buying your next home for free. Why would you not do that?
Right.
As an investment side, and we buy for equity, that's how you gain wealth. And that's what I help people see.
Yeah. That's awesome. I think that's a great thing and a great way that you show it. I was going to ask earlier, we kind of got off the subject, but I think you've kind of answered. What did you see in all your experiences before you got into real estate? How do you see those helping you in real estate?
Oh man, really? It's the bartending. I mean, it's like a natural conversion. Half the agents I know are bartenders. Just making friends with people, talking to them, and because it is. I don't want to say it's a great thing about the business, because people will buy from you if they like you.
Right.
And not everyone that you like might be the best fit for you as an agent, but that's how it is. So if they don't like you, they're not going to work with you. And that bartending part really helped out. As far as my other job, the statistical side of the manufacturing, not really much in that. I mean, because I already knew how to convert numbers and everything. That is almost like you just stay away from that one. This is a completely different mindset, because that's more of a control people versus lead them,
But you understand numbers because of your schooling.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's where that came in, is that because you've talked about it differently than I've heard anybody else talk about it. It makes a lot of sense. I've been doing this a long time, and I haven't heard people talk about it that way.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's really good.
It's my superpower.
It's your superpower. There you go. I think it's brilliant.
So I know you recently just moved to a world title estate with Jason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He came in one time and was like, "Hey, a lot of people call me Justin Justak just because." And from then on, freaking, I always have to hold on. It's Jason, not Justin.
Yeah. You should have never said that.
But what made you make the move? What sold you on world title?
So I've known Jason for quite a while. 6 years, I think. And we just align together pretty well as far as how we view business. He wants to concentrate on one side of it more, and I want to concentrate mainly on production side and how to teach other agents how to get to that level of production that they want to be at. I think the both of us, it's pretty cool because we can talk openly about everything. And I know that a lot of people feel they can't do that. And we've thought about this for quite a while. It's not just a brand new thing. And then, the partnerships and things that we're developing are pretty awesome. So I'm definitely excited, and we're out the door rolling. I think we've pinned 4 in the past week.
Wow, congratulations.
So we've only been, I think it's 2 official weeks.
So one of those, you were in Vegas.
Yeah, right. Yeah, when we were in Vegas. So yeah, we're going. We've got some new listings and everything popping up. So, and then some future stuff that we've got as well.
Yeah. So I need you to stop slacking. 4's not good enough. I need 5 or 6.
We need. I need 10 a month.
Okay.
Or 10 a week. It would be ideal, right?
All right.
That'd be pretty good.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and do that.
You can do that or win the lottery and $1 billion. I'll do that.
Right. Yeah.
We've got a better chance.
I think right now I'd be okay with 10 a month.
But let's get you there. So
yeah,
if somebody's listening to this and they wanted to talk to you about buying, selling, or just talk about real estate, how can they get a hold of you?
So it's 317-625-6163. That's my number. Call or text anytime.
And your email?
Nate@worldtitlerealestate.com.
All right. And reminder, as he said earlier, though, if you email him at between 9:30 or 8:30 and 11:30, he will get back to you. Just give him an hour or two.
That's right. Yeah.
All right. So we like to do the question of the week, and I'm actually kind of curious on this.
Me too.
But what was your first car?
Oh, man, this is funny. My first car was a 1985 Chevette And
Oh,
my aunt,
and you're still a car guy.
I am a car guy. Yeah. My aunt had it in her, one of her property's backyards. And my mom asked her if she had anything, because, I mean, they were also car people. And they had this Chevette for $500. And I bought it from her, and it ran. But the first weekend I had it, my best friend and I had just watched, we were 16, we just watched Ace Ventura. Remember how he'd park the cars, where he'd slide them into a spot? That's where I learned how to drift. So we started doing that with the Chevette. And then from that point, I got into a little more advanced cars, and things were a lot more fun. But the Chevette was definitely my first one.
So, can you drift like Tokyo Drift in the Fast and Furious movie?
Not quite that good, but I can drift, yes.
I like to see. All right. So, when we leave here, let's go around with a couple of these roundabouts. Let's see this go.
Well, the Alpha won't do it because it's all-wheel drive.
Oh.
But if I would have got the quad, it definitely would. So,
I'll tell you what, if he can do it in a Chevette, you can drift in a Chevette. That's pretty good.
well, that was more of just learning how to park sideways.
Okay.
I had a different car, a Nissan 240SX back in Alabama that I would drift in. That was fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was built for it.
So what's been your favorite car you've ever owned?
Right now, it's my Alpha. Yeah.
Because I know Alfa Romeos are not very well known. What makes it your favorite?
The way it drives. I mean, I've driven tons of cars, owned quite a few. For it to be a four-door car and just to do what it can do is pretty amazing. It's stable. Now mine's tuned, so it's not a stock one. It's just fun, and yeah, people look at it and like, oh, that's a cool car because it's Italian. It's gorgeous.
It is gorgeous.
But a lot of people still don't know what it is, which I like. I don't like the everyday normal. Like, I compared it to some BMWs and Audis, and I mean, BMWs are fun to drive, but it just wasn't the same feel. So I went with it.
He moved up from a Chevette.
Hey,
That was a while ago.
I don't think that was hard to do.
No, it doesn't sound like it was his first car. So sounds like you're also recruiting or looking for agents to come on your team.
We are,
correct?
Yes, yeah, we are. We hopefully we're finding out here very soon the level of people we need, meaning how many. Could be a lot more than we first expected, and it may happen pretty quickly. But if not, we'd like to bring people on in the idea that we don't want you there for more than 2 years. We want to help you build, one, your confidence in the industry, but also learn how to do this so you can go start your own team. We don't want people to stay under us forever. That's not the goal of our mission or vision, and we want to help people build. And we think that doing that will go a long way in the industry, but also with clients. I mean, that's, you just keep giving and eventually it comes back to you.
Yeah.
So when you're looking to hire somebody or looking to bring somebody on to train them and everything, what do you look for in that person?
Are you hungry? I mean, really? Because right now in the industry, you can't come in here and expect it to come to you. You have to want to work. Call, prospect, learn the scripts, learn dialogues, call people. I mean, you have to be willing to do all of it. In some cases, door knock, right? Go around neighborhoods, tell them we've got an open house coming up. Doing all of the things. I was door knocking myself 2 weeks ago. I've got a buyer looking for property in downtown Carmel to build. I got cussed out a few times, but I was doing it, and I had one of our new agents on the team, and she saw that I was out there doing it, and I was putting in the work. So you've got to be willing to just do anything that it takes right now.
Yeah, it's interesting that people cuss you out, but it's the worst thing that happens. That's the thing I always, when you're making calls, like and you start, first I'll say, the fact that you have scripts and you have proven scripts is a huge deal. It makes calling so much easier. So if somebody's new, getting into the industry or struggling in the industry and they're looking for a team, you would be a great team because you already have the scripts written out. You know exactly what to do. So part of it is you have to do it. The other part is you have to know what to do
Yes.
and how to do it.
Absolutely. And we've got all of the scripts, dialogues, anything you want, tons of training. And the way that our team is set up, we actually use stuff from the past team that we were both on as well. That's all open information. That's the great thing about our main company is everything is shared. And if you don't share information, it can be pretty tough. And, and we get access to coaching and, I mean, everything. Anyone that comes onto the team has the same access to everything that we do. And the coaching, I mean, they're, award-winning coaches. It's not just somebody off of YouTube.
Right.
These are award-winning real estate coaches that are free. You don't get that anywhere else.
No.
Maybe once a month. This is daily if you want it. I mean, it's really good stuff. And if you're willing to plug in and learn, it's all at your fingertips.
Yeah. And having a coach is a game changer also.
Yeah.
If you have the right coach, it's a game changer.
Absolutely.
It helps you. I mean, I've been in sales my entire life. I bartended for a while.
Yeah.
Other than that, I've been in sales. And you forget things or you just stop doing things. And a coach helps you remember what even if you think you know it all, you don't. And those guys, or women, whoever they are, they really help you.
Yeah.
I think they really help you keep in that direction. I think it helps you become better at what you do, but it makes you better for your clients.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what your scripts also do. They make it better for your clients because you're not, if somebody gets a call from you, you're not trying to do anything. You're just trying to help them.
Right.
Right? Knocking on the doors. What were you trying to do? Help them.
I mean, when I was knocking on the doors, I literally said, "Hey, I've got a client who wants to pay $350,000 for your house. How's that sound?" And that's market value. We're not going in offering $220K. It was $350,
Right.
And people would just slam the door on me. So, but hey, you know what? All it takes is one.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, sometimes that happens. But you just need to understand that.
Yeah.
And that's part of it.
So I like to hear stories. And you've been in the industry for a while, so I know you have some. So what would you consider one of your most memorable transactions?
Oh, man. That's a tough one because, gosh, one of my most memorable. Oh, can we come back to that? 'Cause I'm running through so many in my head that for the last 10 years, all I've done is buyers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Actually, maybe it was one of my first ones. There was a really nice couple from Germany, and I won't mention their names, but if they listen to this, they'll know who they are. I still talk to them, still go to dinner with them. They're still very good friends, and they were just amazing people. I'd never bought a home, and they moved here for work, and it was awesome. We built them a home. They got off the plane and saw a sign for new construction, and she said she wanted that house. She told her husband that, and coincidentally, it was the first builder that I had them go to.
Oh, wow.
And we went there, and they built that house.
Wow.
So that exact house. And their home's still there. They've added a pool. They love it. It's, they've thought about moving, but it's just hard to find what they have. That one was really memorable, I think, because they have become good friends, and that's how you like to do business. And 10 years later, you're still talking to them.
Yeah. So why do you like being a real estate agent?
Well, I mean, that right there is a reason. Helping people, helping them achieve a dream that they've had, and really, becoming part of their life. Because a lot of people don't put it into perspective. We're helping them with the largest decision they're ever going to make financially, and we're a major, major part of that. We can really screw it up, or we can make it a great experience. I just had a closing, Friday. The guy said that all of his friends had terrible experiences, and he was so grateful to have just an easy experience. His home appraised for $35K more than we got it for. Once again, that's being in the market that's a little lower. He was just overly ecstatic and gave me a $100 gift card to Ruth's Chris.
Wow.
which was pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
You know, and he's a car guy too. He was referred to me from a car guy. So, yeah, I mean, we're going to be, we're probably going to be connected for a long time, I think.
Yeah.
So
Most car guys have to stick together. That's the thing. You know. So, do you have one more tip or story you'd like to tell the audience?
I would say a tip for agents: learn how to prospect and do it a lot, because your sphere will always be there. But people that are online, they start looking, and if you stop connecting with your sphere in a time like this, agents that are out there prospecting are going to take your sphere. And it happens to everybody. You get comfortable. You think that they know who you are. 98% of people start their search online. And when the average person stays on a website for 2.5 minutes and they keep switching, if they're going to forget about them, they've already forgotten about you. Learn how to prospect. If you don't, you are going to be left behind. And this is a major changing time in real estate. And, you know, you've got to figure that out.
Yeah, so you have to prospect.
Yeah.
And you have to stay in front of your sphere.
Everybody.
Sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got to stay in front. What's your advice on what's the best way for most people to do that, would you say?
Call them and social media. I mean, they're watching you. You know, they're watching you. If you put something on your story, you can go and see who's seeing it. I promise your family is seeing it. And don't always post about real estate. They want to see you. They want to see your face. Post some cool videos, some house tours, things like that. But
some car videos.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Post who you are, right? Jason and I went to a wrestling event the other night with some family that's my past clients, some neighbors of his, some friends, and put it on our story. And it was a great time. People want to see that about you, that you're also a person.
Yeah.
Because they work with people. They don't work with agents.
Right.
Right.
It's really relationships.
Yeah.
Not real estate. It's really
Right.
relationships.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it just makes a huge difference if you can, you've got to cultivate those relationships.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's everything.
So this will be the last time I ask you, or at least on this show. So if somebody's looking to get a hold of you, whether buy, sell, just want to talk to you, or think about possibly coming on your team, what's the best way they can reach you?
317-625-6163. Call or text me anytime, and you can email me at nate@worldtitlerealestate.com. And on the socials, RLST8N8, Real Estate Nate.
And it's Nate VanPelt.
Yep.
Best number, 317-625-6163.
That's right, Rick.
And to get a hold of Ian or I, go to hardworkingmortgageguys.com. That's hardworkingmortgageguys.com. Or you can give us a call at 317-65. No, that's not it. 317-672-1938. 317-672-1938. Can't even remember my own number. And follow us for more Indies Real Estate Gurus.
And a reminder, if you have any friends, family, coworkers looking to buy, sell, refinance, let us know. We'd be more than happy to help you. Hey, Nate, thank you for joining us on our show and everything. So
I appreciate it.
And we look forward to hearing more from you.
Absolutely. Great time. Thank you.
Branch NMLS number 33041. Rick Whitman's NMLS number 664589. Ian Arnold's NMLS number is 1995469. Equal housing opportunity. Some restrictions apply.